Hey guys, what's up? Coach Jay from Sweaty Academy back at it with another video. I know it's been a hot minute, like I said in my last video, but I actually don't know which video will be coming out first because I recorded a video, I think. What video was it? I can't remember what game was over. Oh, it was on Madden, doing Face the Franchise for Madden 21. I am still on PS4 and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll be getting the PS5 anytime soon. If I do, obviously, you can expect loads of content to come out, but if not, then you'll still expect content. But this is a sports gaming channel, so I don't really want to, especially for games like 2K. 2K on PS4 or 2K21 on PS4 is not it, so I'm definitely not even gonna try to indulge in that. So yeah, I'm doing a season preview of the Lakers, and I'm gonna do the Cavaliers too. LeBron's my favorite player, so I pay attention to the Lakers closely. And obviously I'm a Cavaliers fan too, so I'm gonna do a season preview of those two teams. Since those are two teams only two teams I really care about this season. I do like the Phoenix Suns though. I might do a season preview of them, even though opening night already happened. I don't take opening night or really opening month of an NBA season seriously, especially this season, because you gotta think about it, especially for teams like the Lakers and the Heat, and even the Celtics or the Nuggets, that make deep runs in the playoffs. This is the shortest break they've had to go into the next season, not just the playoffs, but the next season. However, you can make the argument that these NBA players had the longest break in NBA history as well, with the coronavirus when it was still popping off in the beginning of 2020. So that is something, but you also have to recognize they play playoff basketball, and that's a tough, physically taxing style of basketball. So, I just expect a lot more coasting from the Lakers this year. Just up front, what do I expect their record to be? Their record last year was 52 wins. They got 52 wins, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check real quick. Yeah, they went 52-19. So I expect them to get like 48, 49 wins, something like that. Maybe even 47 wins. And that's not really just say that they got worse. They didn't get worse at all. They addressed every single need they needed to. But just overall, I can see a lot more coasting. There's a lot more veteran players in this team, namely, you got Marc Gasol, and I don't know if Montrezl counts as a veteran, but I feel like there's certain players, especially like LeBron, there's gonna be a lot more coasting this year, and Anthony Davis too, because they're trying to repeat for a championship. They're not worried about the regular season. I understand that to a full extent. I also see how fans would have a problem with that, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is rings. That's what this championship, this is what they want. So I don't expect them to be going really hard for the regular season. So if you see them losing a lot more games this regular season, don't get mad at it, because they're clearly trying to save energy for the playoffs, and that worked. Not for the Clippers, but for the Lakers, yeah. So I'm just gonna go position by position, and the only real point guard, even though LeBron is a point guard, I'm pretty sure he's listed as a small forward still. You got Dennis Schroeder, and I really love the addition of Dennis Schroeder. I don't say the word love often when I'm trying to refer to stuff. I'm trying to say that less off, because it's a strong word. So let me say, I strongly like the addition of Dennis Schroeder because he addresses all the needs that the Lakers need. They needed a shot creating guard who can still run offense. Dennis Schroeder, runner up for the Sixth Man of the Year. I think he should have got it, but that doesn't really matter. Can create a shot, driving to, create a shot on all three levels, can pass the ball. His defense has improved. Even though you don't like losing Rondo, he can still replace the playmaking aspect of it. Not to the full extent of Rondo, but he can still give you about 5 to 6 assists. And most of all, he can create his own offense. They needed a point guard to create his own offense other than LeBron. Because as much as I like Caruso or even Rondo during the regular season last year, it was hard for them to create offense from the point guard position without LeBron. So I also like the addition of Wesley Matthews as well. Basically, he can't be any worse than Danny Green. I'm going to create a whole video on him, but he can't be any worse than Danny Green. I don't see how. The floor is Danny Green, just missing shots. But Wesley Matthews, decent, perimeter defender. I know he's 33 or going on 34 or something like that, but still efficient 3-point shooter. Really, he's not going to do anything else except for play defense and shoot threes. Alex Caruso, I expect marginal improvement. Maybe a little bit in the playmaking aspect. Hopefully, you can play some point guard, maybe. But I don't expect it really. We kind of know what Caruso is. He's a really quintessential athletic 3-and-D guard. I mean, he can play point guard or shooting guard. He's not really a playmaker though. So if he improves his playmaking at all, his value skyrockets. If he improves his playmaking, I see him starting. I can seriously see him starting at the I guess quote unquote point guard position for them. But if not, he's gonna still be what he was last year. Really good bench piece, plays some of the best defense on the Lakers on the perimeter. High IQ player, doesn't try to play outside of himself, so I like that. Not really an effective 3-point shooter, but he can get those shots off. He's not, inefficient. He's just, he's not the most consistent all the time. I know a lot of people are hyping up Tayton Horton-Tucker, but I expect maybe like 2 more seasons of development for him. He might get some minutes, during the season, just because of the fact that, like I said, it's gonna be a lot more coasting. So I can see Tayton Horton-Tucker getting some opportunities. We obviously know what LeBron James is. I don't even need to go over that. Then you got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I don't really see him regressing at all. If he does, that would kind of hurt. But I mean, he showed up in the playoffs to show that bullying works. I mean, this man went from absolute garbage on the court to a really efficient 3-and-D player. You can say what you want about him missing some shots during the finals. He was still playing really good defense. One of the better perimeter defenders in the Lakers, and plays hard. Alfonso McKinney, I don't see him getting minutes. I mean, if he does, I mean, that's cool. He doesn't really offer a whole much. He was in the Cavaliers last year, so I got to see him a little bit. I mean, he's not bad. He's an average player. You can put him at small forward and be fine. He's not gonna wow you in any aspect whatsoever, but it's cool. Anthony Davis, we already know what he is. Second best player in the league. I didn't know they got Maxi Kleber. If this is true, that's actually really, really good. I do not remember them getting. If they got him, I'm gonna leave him out of my prediction because I don't remember them getting him. I actually might have to look that up real quick because what? Yeah, he plays in the Mavericks. When in the world is his roster? I was about to say. I don't know, it would change the whole thing for them. But Kyle Kuzma, I'm not even about to talk about him. I'm gonna make a whole video talking about this dude. This man got banked for no reason, but we're finna get on that. But Kyle Kuzma, coming off the bench again, I don't see him starting in any scenario ever. You got Markieff Morris, plays decent defense, can spread the floor a little bit. It's not bad. Another decent role player for them. Montrezl Harrell, I'm confused on Montrezl Harrell piece. He can't guard bigger centers. He can play, decent, good defense on everybody else except for players like Jokic. Pretty much against any elite center, you can't play him. You can't play him, or he can't guard them. You can't put him on them. You have to put him at power forward or something like that, and that just really raises questions for his mobility because we'd have to go big on that lineup, So I can see a lot more scenarios of AD playing center this year because look, I like Marc Gasol, but he should be coming off the bench. I don't see a scenario where Marc Gasol starts. I mean, let's just keep it real. He's 35, 36 years old. I just don't really see a scenario where you start him, even in the playoffs, because you still need to be able to. It's the reason why JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard got played off the court or didn't play in certain series because of the fact that they can't stay on the court against those fast players. So if the game slows down, maybe in the final 2 minutes, something like that, I can see you putting out Marc Gasol. Say what you want about him. I know he had a horrible night last night. Had a horrible, just in general, just didn't play well at all. I can see him improving to be an effective player. I mean, the way he plays doesn't really require a whole bunch of athleticism. Just stretch the floor, pass the ball out of the high post, and play good post defense. So I can see him being a staunch post defender in the playoffs. But as far as the regular season, I expect Marc Gasol not to get heavy minutes in the regular season just because of how fast the games usually played in. Costas Antetokounmpo, he's not getting minutes. I know there's a lot of people that like him because of Giannis and everything, but he's not getting minutes. He's 22 years old. Let him develop. But if he does get minutes, I mean, we'll see. But as far as starting lineups, I could see not in any positional order since the Lakers kind of like to switch that up sometimes. I don't see it differing much. LeBron James at point guard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Anthony Davis, Wesley Matthews, and then you might see Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup, and you might see Alex Caruso depending on what situation they're in. I don't see Montrezl Harrell starting. Maybe Montrezl Harrell might start. There you go. Ron James at point guard. Wesley Matthews or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at shooting guard and small forward. Anthony Davis at power forward, and maybe, yeah, Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell is probably gonna start. I don't see why you wouldn't start him. But in that scenario against the actual really good center, I would probably want him to be at power forward, or just come off the bench and start another guard. But that'll put AD at the 5, and I know he said he doesn't like it, but he's gonna have to deal with it. I mean, it's just something you have to do in order to win, since they don't have as much. Center isn't a position of strength anymore. Like, it's not a position where they were overwhelmingly, deep at. Because they had, even though I didn't like JaVale McGee as much, still a really good rim protector and a lob threat. And you had Dwight Howard coming off the bench. That was really, or Dwight Howard starting. That was a really solid lineup in the finals and then the playoffs. So, like I said, I see them winning like high 40s, 47 to 49 games. If they break 50, that's cool. But I expect a lot more coasting. I don't expect a whole bunch in the regular season. And yeah, I do see the Lakers repeating. I definitely see this as a playoff lineup. The only weakness being, I guess, Marc Gasol at certain instances, but you can take him off the court and put maybe even Markieff Morris at center at some points, depending on who you're playing against. So, yeah. I know this wasn't the most comprehensive video. I'm kind of just making this because I didn't realize NBA opening night was the last night. I was being stupid. I thought it was on Friday. I thought it was I thought it was on Christmas, but it's all cool. Like I said, the Lakers, I do see them repeating the champions, and I like this roster a lot. And yeah, peace out, stay sweaty.